When you think of Mexico's biggest companies, you might picture tequila brands or automotive giants. But there's one name that's been quietly dominating grocery store shelves across North America for decades: Grupo Bimbo. And now, this bread-making powerhouse is taking on the President of the United States in court. Today, we're diving into why one of the world's largest baking companies is suing Donald Trump over tariffs and what this legal battle could mean for international trade. First, let's talk about Grupo Bimbo. If you've ever grabbed a loaf of bread, a pack of English muffins, or some snack cakes at your local grocery store in the United States, there's a decent chance it came from Bimbo. The company operates 43 brands through Bimbo Bakeries USA and runs approximately 60 bakeries across the country. They're one of the largest baking companies in the world with a major presence in the American market. But here's what makes this interesting. Even though Bimbo is a Mexican company, the vast majority of products sold in the US are actually made in America. Less than 10% of their US revenue comes from imports from Mexico. So why would tariffs matter so much? In February of this year, President Trump imposed 25% tariffs on a wide range of products from Mexico and Canada that aren't covered by the USMCA free trade agreement. Trump justified these tariffs by declaring an economic emergency, using that designation to apply pressure on immigration and trade balance issues. For Bimbo, even though only a small portion of their business crosses the border, those tariffs still represent a significant financial hit. The company has been paying these duties on their Mexican imports for months now, and they've decided enough is enough. On December 16th, Grupo Bimbo and several of its US subsidiaries filed a lawsuit in the International Trade Court in New York, challenging the constitutional basis of Trump's tariff powers. So what's Bimbo's argument? Their lawyers claim that Trump overstepped his authority by imposing these tariffs under the pretext of an economic emergency. They argue it's unconstitutional, and they're not just asking for the tariffs to be removed going forward. They want every dollar they've already paid reimbursed. Now, this isn't coming out of nowhere. Back in May, the U.S. International Trade Court ruled that the president doesn't actually have the authority to impose blanket tariffs using the International Economic Emergency Powers Act, or the National Emergencies Act. That ruling was upheld by the Federal Circuit Court of Appeals, and right now, it's under final review by the Supreme Court. This Supreme Court decision could fundamentally reshape the balance between presidential power and the legal framework governing international trade. Bimbo is essentially betting that the courts will side with them. The timing of this lawsuit is particularly interesting because Bimbo's North American sales have actually been struggling. In the third quarter, their sales in the region dropped 5% to about $2.57 billion. The company says this decline isn't primarily about tariffs, though. American consumers are changing their buying habits, increasingly split between those hunting for value deals and those willing to pay premium prices. It's the squeeze in the middle that's hurting. Still, fighting these tariffs makes sense from a business strategy standpoint. Why accept an extra cost when you believe it's illegally imposed? Even if it's a relatively small percentage of revenue, over time those tariff payments add up. This case is worth watching because Bimbo isn't alone in challenging Trump's tariff authority. Multiple companies have filed similar lawsuits, and the outcome could set a major precedent. If the courts rule that these tariffs were imposed illegally, it could force the government to reimburse billions of dollars in collected duties and significantly limit how future presidents can use emergency powers for trade policy. For Mexico, this is about more than just bread. It's about defending the rules-based trading system that companies on both sides of the border have relied on for decades. So there you have it, a Mexican bread giant standing up to challenge presidential power in US courts. Whether you're Team Tariff or Team Free Trade, this legal battle will have consequences that extend far beyond the bakery aisle. If you found this deep dive interesting, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to Mexico News Daily TV for more stories like this one.